Good evening. Days after finding a lump in his throat and undergoing surgery, Premier John Horgan shared some difficult news with British Columbians today.
The growth is cancerous, and he will be undergoing radiation treatment right away. As CTV's Binder Sudjan reports, the Premier will continue working and says the prognosis is positive.
You're not supposed to have growths in your throats.
After stunning British Columbians with the news he was undergoing surgery and a biopsy, now Premier John Horgan confirming in a statement, the pathology confirmed that the growth in my throat was cancerous.
It's the news that nobody wants to hear, and it's very concerning when you hear the word cancer. But that being said, the Premier is upbeat and in good spirits.
Horgan says his prognosis is good. He'll undergo radiation, which is expected to continue until the end of December. Horgan previously battled bladder cancer.
As someone who has dealt with cancer and survived before, he understands both, I think, the challenges, but also he's engaging with real optimism.
Very much involved in global health and global cancer control.
This retired oncologist and former head of the BC Cancer Agency is not treating Horgan. He says while cancers of the throat are relatively rare in Canada, they're more common in men.
This was presumably an asymptomatic preclinical detection, which means it's likely to be earlier stage. That's very favorable.
The Premier's been attending meetings virtually this week. His surgery was last Friday. He'll continue to work remotely, expecting to be back at the legislature next year.
He's upbeat and in good spirits, and he'll be doing his treatments. And I think all of us, in fact, I know all of us, wish him the best and hurry up and get back here.
Prime Minister Justin Trudeau reacting, tweeting in part, "John, I'm sorry to hear this news, but I know you'll approach this with courage and resolve."
I certainly look forward to a time when he will return in good health to the legislature so we can continue the vigorous debate that he and I usually engage in.
Horgan is also thanking healthcare workers and well-wishers, writing, "Your support gives me strength and humbles me."
And Binder joins us live with more on this tonight. Binder, of course, this is certainly news no one wanted to hear. We heard that from Mike Farnworth a few minutes ago, but there is reason for optimism.
Yeah, that's right. And keep in mind, we don't know exactly what kind of cancer this is or what stage it's at. Of course, those are crucial factors. But that retired oncologist that you heard from in my story there says, generally speaking, these types of cancers come with a survival rate of 70%, and that's even higher if you catch them earlier. Now, interestingly, he also says that research is showing that the human papilloma virus can actually contribute to throat cancer. Now, the Premier, of course, is very upbeat. He says his prognosis is good. He expects to make a full recovery. And of course, that is good to hear. Scott?
All right, everyone hoping the Premier has a speedy recovery tonight. Thanks very much, Binder.